All right, boys, we are back, and it's time to head into the trade deadline in year one with our Pittsburgh Penguins. The season's gone by. We're 30, 23, and 7. We were a little bit better, but we're actually in the middle of a 4-game losing streak, which has brought us back down to earth a little bit. And, that record doesn't look bad, but when you compare it to the rest of the NHL, we're right in the thick of things, especially in our division. 67 points, and if you look at the Atlantic Division, there's plenty of teams in there that can snag the wild card away from us if the Islanders, the Blue Jackets are able to pass us, right? So over there in the Atlantic Division, a team like the Buffalo Sabres, Detroit Red Wings, Montreal Canadiens, they could catch us. So we just got to keep on winning games. And it seems like with this team, goal scoring is not a problem. So I want to add to that, but also try to make our goals against slightly better. I don't think a whole makeover to make this team a goals against dynamo is going to work, just because I don't have the trading assets. But what we can do is really bolster the offensive output for this team, because we've seen now that Chris Kunitz is just not getting it done in the top 6. I know in real life with healthy Sidney Crosby, he can be a point per game player, but in this simulation, 33 points in 60 games played. I mean, he's on pace for maybe 40, 45 points, and playing alongside of the best player in the world, that's just not good enough for me. So I want to get somebody better for Chris Kunitz, maybe move him down to the second line, but he's got a pretty good trade value, so I imagine I could get something back. But if we're going to trade away our Chris Kunitz, then we are going to lose our penalty killer. I went best line, so that's the reason Malkin and Crosby are still back here. But we were using Kunitz on the penalty kill, right? So if we trade away Kunitz, we're going to lose a penalty killer, so we'd have to fill out the bottom 6 and use Zach Smith and Gotch, and then find another winger or two for the penalty kill, right? But I'm thinking with this team, if we have to choose offense or defense this year, I think we should go with offense. I think I should try to make some trades for some players that can help us score more goals. If we can get these two lines going come the playoffs, that might be all that we need. Because Marc-Andre Fleury's played fine, so we're not getting a goaltender. And defense, I might be able to get some depth, but there's no way I'm getting a top 2 defenseman. So I think the best bet would be to go for offense. Now, I was reading some of your comments. One good one was to bring Jaromir Jagr back to Pittsburgh from New Jersey. And that's the perfect player that I'm talking about. An older player, I'd imagine that they want to give him up if you guys suggested him. Let's see. Yeah, even a guy like Patrick Elias, same thing. Jaromir Jagr, 84 years old, 84 overall, 42 years old, 1 year left, $2 million. Definitely a rental player, but he's still got the 4-star potential, so he actually might be back next year. Now, his physical and defensive categories aren't there, but you're not getting him for that. We're getting him for offense, just like everybody else now at the trade deadline here. All right, I wanna bolster the offense. Now, I don't think he's going to be a first-line winger. I'd like to play him on the second line with like a Patrick Hornqvist, Evgeny Malkin, and a Jaromir Jagr. I think that could work out. All right, so that's in the back of my mind. I may want to go through with that trade, but the first thing is I want to find a left winger for Sid the Kid Crosby. I already did some scouting, all right, and from the Toronto Maple Leafs, a left winger that has a decent trade value, James Van Riemsdyk, 85 overall, 24 years old, 5 years left at 4.250, not that it matters, all right? I know it says he's a power forward. Don't worry, he is a sniper. As soon as I get him on the team, if I do trade for him, I'll be able to just do what I did with Malkin, all right? You just send him down, send him back up, and that's all she wrote. He'll become the sniper again. So if you look at his stats, I mean, the passing category is at 90, all right? And if you compare him to like let me just bring him up. Let me bring him up to Chris Kunitz. You compare him to a Chris Kunitz. Chris Kunitz passing is only 85 right now. I think their shooting categories are pretty similar, but JVR's got the 4.5 gold star potential, and he's still getting better, and I'm sure he's listed as a sniper. Now, he doesn't have the physical and defensive categories that Chris Kunitz has, but I think this would help us out offensively. He's only got 34 points in 62 games played, but that might be because he's playing second-line minutes on Toronto. I think, Joffrey Lupa would be getting first-line minutes with Phil Kessel, all right? So, James Van Riemsdyk. I can have 2 Americans flanking Sidney Crosby. It could work for me, but I want to try and make sure that I can get decent value back. Now, I don't want to trade away Chris Kunitz to Toronto. That wouldn't make sense, but hang on. Let's see anybody else on this team that I can maybe snag up. Low trade value, decent overall. David Clarkson, no way. Even if no salary cap, I'm not taking him on my team. No, not really. They don't really have much depth here. Matt Fratton, trade value, no, that's too much. I can find better trade values with better defensive players. Defenseman, Polak, Robidas, they want to get away with Robidas. I wouldn't mind, just to get some assets here. I just want to put the assets on the table of players that I could pick up if I need to. Roman Polak, it's a little bit high up there. Good defensive player, though, no doubt about that. I'll put him in there just to see what I can get back. These are the kind of players that I'm looking for, though. 80 overall with no trade value. All right, because that could be a roster player for me. All right, and then goaltenders. Jim Reimer, 81 overall, 1 year left. That would be actually a good increase for our backup rather than Grice have James Reimer in there. All right, so there are all the players that I'd be willing to go after. I'm not saying I want them all. I just want to see the guys who are up for grabs in this trade. So Marc-Andre Fleury, I'm holding on to him. Defenseman, let's see here. Harrington, yeah, this is the time where I'd have to trade away some of the prospects, especially to get a guy like JVR. You're going to have to give up some value to get some value back. So Harrington, yeah, I'm going to have to give him up. Harrington, and you know what? I don't want to give up Derek Pouliot just yet. Paul Martin I want to hold on to. These guys I'm holding on to. But Desprez, I wouldn't mind giving up, especially if we're getting a young winger. I know that these are young defensemen and we need defensemen, but we're a team for right now. And if I'm getting like a Robidas back, that's the 80 overall for this season. And I would be able to find defensemen, for the future, for year 2, year 3. We get to that road when we come to it, kind of thing. Right now, I'm trying to win the Stanley Cup, and I don't know if this guy should be on the team. I know he's a +3. He's got 10 points, right? Definitely a guy I want to see what he turns out to be, but his defensive category awareness is only 83. His poise is 75. He's top 6 right now. I'd rather use a guy like, even like Robidas on the top 6. He's got a bit better physical category. His poise is up there. You know what I mean? Like for a playoff run, I'd rather go with like an 81 overall than an 80 overall rookie. They're both top 6 defensemen. Roman Polak, same thing. I think I'd rather go with Roman Polak rather than Desprez. And if we're getting friggin' JVR here, I wouldn't mind that. Now Harrington, Desprez. Yeah, JVR's trade value is nice and low, but I think all of this, that won't go through. Like Jim Reimer, I think is too much. Let me just see. Yeah. Jim Reimer with JVR, that's too much. So I'm going to take Rhymes off. All right, we don't need him. Cody Franzen, Roman Polak, Robidas. All right, I'll take Roman Polak out of the equation. All right. Now, Cody Franzen and Robidas, the reason I'm keeping them in there is because they're 2 roster defensemen and their trade values are nice and low. Now, will that go through the way it is? Might go through if I add another player here. So let me try to add one more player. Phillips. No. I'm gonna leave these guys. I want to have some depth for the playoffs as well. So that's why a guy like Cody Franzen wouldn't be bad. Look at this guy. Here you go. They want him. Yes, they do. All right. Give you him. So Scott Harrington, Simone Desprez for JVR, Robidas, and Franzen. So the Toronto Maple Leafs are getting their young defenseman that they want, but they got to give up JVR, which is a big fish. But you know what? You got to give up some trade value to get some. So Harrington and Desprez, will it go through? No, it did not. All right, so we did not meet their trading value whatsoever. Is there another player instead of, what's his name? McNeil here that I could give up a little bit of trade value? Nope. Como Greening, no, I want to hold on to you guys. I need you for the playoff run. Nope. All right. Let me try to add in a draft pick. I think I still have my third or second. So hang on, McNeil. Send you back. There you go. Can I add another player in this deal? Like if I add like a Tristan Jarry? No, that doesn't work. All right, I'll hold on to Tristan Jarry. 3rd round pick. All right, will it go through? Sweeten just a touch. Ooh, interesting. All right, so McNeil's a nothing player. 2 young defensemen, 1 roster defenseman that we're using for a roster winger and 2 roster defensemen. All right, yeah, I would do that. It's pretty much Desprez for JVR. That's what we're going for. I would do it. So the 3rd and the 4th. Will it go through? Yes, it did. Beautiful. So we got James Van Riemsdyk on the Pittsburgh Penguins with Bobby Ryan and Sid the Kid Crosby on the first line. Or maybe he plays alongside of with Geno Malkin. Who knows? All right, but I'll just show you guys quickly. Payet, Kobasu. Oh, I have too many players now. Hang on. Franzen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7. All right, so I have 7 defensemen now, which is a good thing for depth. And also, I wouldn't be opposed to just trading them right back right now. It's going to be a crazy day for trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there it is. All right. Might as well just go best lines here a bunch of times. We got a lot of A lot of moves to do. All right, so there's JVR as a sniper on the first line with Crosby and Bobby Ryan. But you could also go like this. All right, JVR, Malkin, Hornqvist. But we do want to replace Chris Kunitz. I didn't get JVR to play alongside of Chris Kunitz. I got JVR to play on the first line, and now Jaromir Jagr instead of a Chris Kunitz on the second line, right? Now you only have snipers and playmakers in the top six, and you can use Chris Kunitz to get Jaromir Jagr and maybe pick up some defensemen as well, or maybe pick up some depth. I'll have to see who's on New Jersey. All right, but yeah, that's not a bad. It's not a bad move because Chris Kunitz is a good player, but we're going for offense on this team, so that's the idea. Now, hang on 1 second. I want to make sure I don't lose that. All right, that's much better. So let's go to New Jersey and let's see if we can pick up Jaromir Jagr, bring him back to Pittsburgh for one more cup run, maybe even two because he's got the 4-star potential, but one more good run in him. All right, his trade value is nice and low, so if I was going to do this, all right, we'd put back Chris Kunitz. But now let's see if there's somebody else that we can pick up in this deal. All right, I'm not interested in draft picks this year. I still have my first, which I might use or I might trade at the draft, or if something big comes up right here. But I don't think. Hang on a second. Zajac, no. Tomo Rutu. His trade value is way too high up. But there's that winger that I'm talking about. He could play third line minutes, and that defensive category is 5-star. I would like to get a Chris Kunitz, right? I mean, Tomo Rutu, but I think he's the exact same as a Chris Kunitz. Yeah, I like the trade value, so no thank you. I think I can get a few players here. So Rutu's not going to work. Travis Zajac's not going to work. Havlat, no. Ilyash, it's one or the other because we already have JVR now, so I'd go with Jaromir Jagr. If you guys want to look at his stats quickly, there you go. All right, passing's only 86, but that's why he's going to be a better bet than Spalling. You know what I mean? He'll be better than Spalling on the second line. He's got 46 points in 62 games played, so he's going to be playing alongside of Evgeny Malkin and Hornqvist if we get him here. So even though his individual stats, I don't think he's going to have like a point per game season, but he'll be a better bet than Spalling for offense. So Jaromir Jagr, he's going to be in there. Adam Henrique, no. Ryder, no. Klo, a little bit. Klo's not bad. Let's see his stats here. Power forward. He's probably got a shit ton of penalty minutes. 52, it's not bad. Yeah, I'll add Ryan Klo to this deal just to see what I can get. Damian Brunner, he's a sniper, isn't he? I don't really need another sniper. No, I don't need another sniper. I'd almost want to take him over Jaromir Jagr, but we got to bring Jaromir Jagr back to Pittsburgh. So I'm not going to put Brunner on there. Steven Gianta, all these guys, no. All right, so they don't really have any forwards, depth forwards that we can pick up. Defensemen, let's see here. Volchenkov, Andy Green, Adam Larson, Salvador. It starts to drop off after that. But you got three guys here at 82 overall. Now, Adam Larson, he's the obvious bet, because of the star potential. But he's 82 overall, and his trade value is a little bit high up. His defensive awareness is only 82. I mean, he's got great stats, don't get me wrong. But again, if I add him to the deal, all right, I think that puts it out of reach. I mean, I think I could go maybe a what's it called? A Derek Pouliot, which I do want to trade eventually. So, where's Pouliot? They don't even really want Pouliot, but that could still work. If I'm willing to give up Kunitz and Pouliot, what could I get back? Jaromir Jagr, Klo, Larson. Do I want Ryan Klo, though? I want defense. That wouldn't be a bad idea. What should I do? Adam Larson. All right, so if I go Pouliot for Larson, that could work. And then Kunitz for Klo and Jagr. That could work as well. But you know what? I saw those other two defensemen. They kind of sparked my interest more than Klo. Andy Green and Volchenkov. Let me just throw them into the mix here. All right, Andy Green, I know it would be a perfect top 6, top 4, defensive defenseman. I know he's a two-way defenseman, but you know what I mean. For penalty killing and all that stuff. He's a -6, only 18 penalty minutes. But really good stats there. I would like to, and he's only 31 years old, right? That's perfect for the next 3 years. Volchenkov, I think he's the same thing. Yeah, 32 years old. He's got a really good defense and physical category, so you're picking up two very good back-end defensemen here in Green and Volchenkov. I mean, Klo's not bad, but at best he's depth for us, right? So if I'm trying to make this trade go through, he's adding to it. They don't want to give him up. And Adam Larson, oh man, it's a lot here actually. All right, let's see what we can do. All right, so Kunitz and Pouliot, yeah. All right, that covers that. Then these three. I'm pretty sure this would go through with well, maybe not go through, but maybe a one more pick. I think I could get all of that for just Kunitz and Pouliot, and that wouldn't be a bad thing because Klo, how old is Klo? I know Adam Larson is in there, and he's the obvious bet for a GM, but just for this year, I think this lot would be the best for us. Now, if we want to get Adam Larson, that's a lot now. You know what I mean? You're giving up a lot. Now, let's see if I can maybe find some. Tristan Yeri, you can go back the other way. Yeah, you can add some trade value. I need to find the trade values. Now, hang on. If I got 3 defensemen coming back, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if I got 3 defensemen coming back, and I'm going to have 1. Oh, Paul Martin can go now. Yeah, Paul Martin can go. All right, there you go. Ooh, if I could trade away Kunitz and Martin and keep Pouliot for now, that would be interesting. But then again, I could just throw Pouliot into this to get, what's his name? To get Larson. Like, that's the trade-off. You know, Derek Pouliot for Adam Larson, because they both have the 4.5-star potential. Pouliot's a little bit younger, a little bit more underdeveloped, but at least they're getting something back. And then you go Paul Martin for Green and Volchenkov. Yeah, Kunitz for Klo and Yager. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad trade for me. Now, hang on a sec. Wouldn't mind doing that. How many defensemen I'm going to have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to bring in 9 defensemen the way it is right now. See, a guy like Adam Larson. I just trying to find a spot for him on the team. Letang, Larson, Volchenkov, Green, Mata, Ehrhoff, and then Phillips and Robidas. They don't get played. You know, I could trade away Phillips. I could just give him up to get that little bit of trade value out of him right now. Yeah, you know what? I'll give up Phillips in this deal, so he can go cover one of these guys. All right, let me take off Pouliot. Let's see if I can make this go through without Pouliot. Phillips, we got some crazy trading right here. Right wingers, nope. Nope. Hold on, I know I need all my depth. I need my depth. All right, so you guys aren't going anywhere. First round pick, I want to hold on to you. So let's just see here. Let's see what we can do with this. Grice, I already have you in there. No, I took you out. Oh, no, not Grice. What am I doing? Tristan Yeri. There you go. And all skaters. Let's find somebody down here with green name Martu Kwani. There you go. All right, so that will go through technically. Now, let me just see if I'm giving up anything stupid here. So Phillips for Jaromir Jagr, I think that would work. Martin would cover Klo and Volchenkov, and then Green, no, that wouldn't go through. I don't even think that would come close to going through. You'd have to add in Derek Pouliot to make sure that goes through. Pouliot, Kunitz, Martin. Ugh, it's a tough trade. That would be a tough trade, but I think it would be worth it. Yeah, see, there's no way that's going to go through. All right, so I think I'm going to pull the trigger with this. All right, Martu Kwani. I think I'm going to go with Derek Pouliot. All right, there you go. Now, let me just take a look at this again. So, I'm going to take off Chris Phillips. I can use him in another trade now. All right, and I'm going to take off Tristan Jerry because I can use him in another trade. So, Kunitz being replaced by Jaromir Jagr and Ryan Klo. We're getting 2 roster players for them. Paul Martin being replaced by Volchenkov and Green. And then Derek Pouliot going straight up for Adam Larson. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I'd do that. I would do that trade. So will it go through the way it is? Just trying to see if I can get any more little bit of trade value back in this. I think that's pretty good considering they don't want to give up these guys. They don't want any players here. They don't want any part of this trade. So I'm going to go through with it, all right? Chris Kunitz, Paul Martin, and Derek Pouliot for Jaromir Jagr, Ryan Klo, Anton Volchenkov, Andy Green, and Adam Larson. Will it go through? Oh, there you go. What am I doing? I have to add more players back. I didn't even see that. Martu Kwani, there you go. And this guy, Sill. There you go. All right. Will it go through? Yes, it did. We believe this transaction will contribute to our success here in New Jersey. So we are accepting your trade offer. All right. So there you go. There goes all of our trading assets right out the door. But I think we brought in some good players. And other than Jaromir Jagr, you know, like a guy like Andy Green and Volchenkov, they still have years in them. They still have like 2 or 3 years before we need to think about trading them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Adam Larson, there you go for Derek Pouliot. 6, 7, 8. All right, so boom. Whoa, no, I don't want to send Oli Mata down. Phillips, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and forwards. Make sure I have everyone that I need. Yes, I do. Perfect. All right, so best lines. There are our lines for right now. JVR with Crosby, Bobby Ryan. Hornqvist with Evgeny Malkin, Jaromir Jagr. Ryan Klo now on the 3rd line with Zach Smith and Blake Como. And Colin Greening with Gotch and Spalling. I could use one more depth winger for that penalty kill. But Ryan Klo is, we can use him on the penalty kill, hopefully. We'll see what he does. All right. And defense, Andy Green with Chris Letang, Volchenkov with Ehrhoff, Adam Larson with Oli Mata, and also we have Roman Polak. No, not Roman Polak. Robidas. You know what? I'll show you. I'll show you right now. Hang on a second here. Where is it? Where is it? There you go. We have Chris Phillips still. We have Stefan Robidas, and we have Cody Franzen for depth on the point. Now, I wouldn't mind trading away Chris Phillips for a forward, holding on Robidas and Franzen for depth, because Phillips still has some trade value. Now, I don't want to lose any of this, so hang on 1 second. All right, that's much better. So, let us try to make that last move with Chris Phillips. You know what? I'm going to have to go back to trading block here just to figure out the exact player that I want. All right, but I want a forward with a very good defensive category. And I think we've already checked this. And I think that there would be like a Jay McClemens. He's on Carolina now. No, we won't take Jay McClemens. He's a center. If I could find like a winger, that wouldn't be a bad thing. All right, so 4.5 star. Let's see this. All right, here we go. This is what I want. All right, so winger. Justin Abdelkader. Let's see this guy. Yeah, 34 penalty minutes, 14 points. Defensive awareness, 85. Checking category is really good as well. He's got 4.5 star in both those categories. Poise of 80. This guy would like a definitely third or fourth liner. That wouldn't be a bad one. Justin Abdelkader. Winnick on Anaheim. Halschuk. I think Halschuk's not bad. Yeah, Halschuk on Winnipeg. All right. Gordon on Edmonton. He's a center. Prusts. Okay. Yeah, I think, what about a guy like Joel Ward as well? His trade value is a little bit higher up. Yeah, Joel Ward wouldn't be a bad idea. So a guy like Joel Ward and Abdelkader. All right, let's go after Abdelkader first. All right, so Justin Abdelkader. Let me throw in, where is he? Chris Phillips. There you go. So straight up, Abdelkader for Phillips. Now let me see if there's any other players here that I could snag up. Stephen Weiss, 81. No, I don't want that contract. Even though it doesn't matter, I don't want it. Cleary, Zubris. Let's just see these guys. These old timers for Detroit. No, I don't want Cleary. Anybody else? Bertuzzi, Big Bert. No, I don't need any of these guys. We're fine for that. Defenseman. No, we're fine for that. And goaltenders. Any backups that we could pick up? No. We're good. We don't need the goof. All right. So yeah, we'll just go Abdelkader for Chris Phillips. We'll try to make this trade go through. All right, it won't go through the way it is right now, so let's just try to add something else onto it. We'll go Tristan Jerry. I'm not going to use this guy ever, so I can unload him in a trade. I'll get this guy Patterson. They both only have 3 years left. All right, so let's just go one of them. All right, and that should go through the way it is. So Chris Phillips and Tristan Jerry for Justin Abdelkader. Will it go through? So, well, I thought that would go through for sure. All right, I'll find something else for you. Might have to add a draft pick in this. I don't want to use that first-round pick, though. I don't have to. I don't want to do it if I don't need to. No. Hold on, all you guys. Nope. Cody Franzen's Pyatt. Adams, Vitali. There you go. I'll use you guys. There you go. Adams. I might have to add, actually, a draft pick in on this. I don't have any more trade value. All right. Will that go through? Nope. All right. So let me add some draft picks for this. All right. I'm not going to use my first. I'll try to use next year's third. Will it go through? Really? All right. You know what? I think Abdelkader is not going to work. I don't want to give up too much for Justin Abdelkader like that. I'll try Joel Ward instead. I think they had pretty similar trade values. Yes, they did. All right, so it's after that. Halschuk and Winnick. All right, so I'll go to Winnipeg after Washington if it doesn't work. All right, so Joel Ward will try. More skaters. Let's see if there's anybody. Dustin Penner. Let's see this. Pancakes. Good physical category, but not so much the defensive. Jason Chimera. 80 grinder. Oh, yes. I'd pick up a Jason Chimera as well. He could help us out on the defensive side of things, the penalty kill. So I'll snag him up with Joel Ward. And Eric Fair. No. All right, that's good there. Defenseman. Any young defenseman? Nope. And goaltenders. Braden Holtby. No. All right, so let's go Jason Chimera and Joel Ward. Let's try to get these two guys this time. We'll go with Phillips. There you go. Go with Tristan Yeri again. There you go. Now, can these guys take any players back? Like a Robidas? No. 2 defensemen. I still have Cody Franzen. No, I want to hold on to the defensemen. The defensemen are important. I'll hold on to Robidas. All right. Tristan Jerry and Chris Phillips. That might go through. Let me try it here. Will it go through? Yes, it did. All right, so it went through on this side. Chris Phillips and Tristan Jerry. All right, so our defensemen now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have Robidas and Franzen for the playoff run for depth. All right, goaltenders, we gave up Tristan Jerry, yeah, and forwards, we definitely have some depth now on the up front as well, but we have no more trading assets. We've gotten rid of all of our trading assets. All right, so we're not going to do the finish up simulation in this video. We'll leave that for the next video, but because I want to make sure that we make the playoffs, and to do that we got to edit our lines the right way, and I want you guys to help out with that, because we have a completely new team, so I might as well go best lines. Oh, hang on. Alright, completely new team, so we might as well go best lines. Did I back out? Shit, I wanted to go to roster moves. Hang on 1 second. Edit lines. Roster moves. Alright, because if we do continue this 4-game losing streak that we're on right now, bad things could happen. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's good. We don't have a single top 6 defenseman. We have all top 4 and 1 top 2. So I think our D is looking a lot better. And also, Spalling now is the one getting sent down. We have a lot of good players now. We have at least 2 depth players up front. So I want to bring up Spalling, all right, because he's had a pretty good year for us. All right, but if I go best lines, there you go, best lines. Let's go on JVR, Crosby, and Bobby Ryan. Hornqvist with Malkin and Jaromir Jagr. Zach Smith with Joe Ward and Ryan Clough. Blake Como, Gotch, and Colin Greening. And we have Chimera and Spalling sitting out. So let me know how you guys feel about that. Maybe we can sit out. I don't know. I mean, they're our best overall players, and that's why I also don't want to go ahead a day, because if you guys still have one more trade or anything, it might be possible. But, you know, we have the depth, and we have 2, you know, players willing to come in if an injury happens for forwards. Same thing with defense. We have 2 players waiting there. So it's not a bad thing, right? But who should be playing and who should be sitting? That's our offense. Our defense, who should play alongside of Chris Letang on the first line now? I mean, we can go with Oli Mata and then Larson with Ehrhoff and then Volchenkov with Green as our bottom 6. You know what I mean? Or our top 6 defensemen. Use them on the penalty kill as well. You know, I actually really like our defensive core now. It looks pretty solid. And then special teams, power play and penalty kill. How should we arrange it? All right, so I'm going to leave it with you guys. Let me know. And I'm sorry, diehard Pittsburgh Penguins fans. I've absolutely butchered the old roster. But we'll see if we can bring this team back to its former glory.